Ladies and gentlemen, many people spend too much time looking at others, comparing their lives, their wealth, their achievements. But let me tell you this, success does not come from watching others. It comes from focusing on yourself. When I started my journey, I had nothing. No money, no connections, and no experience. But I had a dream so big that people laughed at me. Some said, "You will fail." Some said, "You are wasting your time." If I had listened to them, I would not be standing here today. The biggest mistake you can make is to wait for someone to believe in you. Do not expect the world to recognize your value immediately. If you have a dream, start working on it today. Start small, take one step at a time. On your journey, you will fail many times. That's good. Every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone. The difference between successful people and others is that successful people do not complain when they fail. They learn, they adapt, and they try again. Most people quit because they focus too much on competition, criticism, and challenges. But success is not about competing with others. It's about improving yourself every single day. The world is full of opportunities, but only for those who are willing to work hard and stay focused. And remember, true success is not just about money or fame. It is about making a difference. If you can help others, if you can create something valuable, you will not only be successful, you will be remembered. So stop worrying about what others are doing. Stop comparing, stop doubting yourself. Focus on your vision, take action, and never give up. Your success is in your hands. Go make it happen. Dream big. When you close your eyes and think about your future, what do you see? A life of success, achievement, impact? Do you see yourself standing tall, proud of what you've built? That vision, hold on to it, nurture it. Because every great success in this world started as nothing more than a dream in someone's mind. But here's where most people get it wrong. They dream, they fantasize, they imagine this grand future, but then they freeze. They get overwhelmed. They see the gap between where they are and where they want to be, and instead of taking a step forward, they do nothing. They wait, they doubt, they overthink, and eventually they give up. The truth is, no one starts at the top. No one wakes up one day and suddenly becomes successful. It doesn't work like that. Every empire, every billion-dollar company, every world-changing invention started small. So small that no one even noticed. It started with a simple idea, a single action, a tiny step forward. Think about it. The tallest buildings were once just drawings on a piece of paper. The most successful businesses started in garages, basements, and tiny offices with barely enough space for a desk. The greatest leaders of our time were once just ordinary people who dared to believe they could do something extraordinary. But the difference between them and everyone else? They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They didn't wait for someone to come and give them permission. They started right where they were with whatever they had. And that's what you must do. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Stop waiting for the stars to align because they never will. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect opportunity. There is only this moment, right now. Maybe you have a dream so big that it scares you. Good. That means it's worth chasing. But don't let that fear paralyze you. Take a deep breath. Break it down. What is one small step you can take today? Just one. It doesn't have to be something grand. It doesn't have to be something the world notices. It just has to be something, because every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer. And the more steps you take, the more momentum you build. The more momentum you build, the stronger you become. And before you know it, that dream that once seemed so far away, it's within reach, but most people never get there. They look at successful people and think they were lucky, they had resources, they had connections. They don't see the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the failures, the moments of doubt when no one believed in them. They don't see the years of work behind what looks like an overnight success. Success is not about luck. It's about effort. It's about persistence. It's about showing up every single day, even when no one is watching, even when nothing seems to be working, even when you feel like giving up. So dream big. Let that vision pull you forward, but start small. Take action one step at a time. Because that's how every great story begins. Life is full of noise. People will tell you what you can and cannot do. They will have opinions about your ideas, your dreams, your journey. Some will doubt you, some will laugh at you, and some will even try to stop you. The world is noisy, full of distractions, full of voices that will pull you in different directions. But if you listen to them, if you allow their words to control your actions, you will lose sight of your path. Think about it. Every great success story begins with a person who refused to be shaken by what others said. The moment you set a goal, the moment you decide to do something different, people will question you. They will tell you that you are aiming too high, that your dream is impossible, that you should be more realistic. But what is realistic? Realistic is just another word for the limits other people have accepted for themselves. Their limits are not your limits. Many people fail not because they lack talent, not because they lack intelligence, but because they allow the noise to break their focus. You start strong, full of energy, full of excitement, and then someone tells you that your idea is not good enough. You start to doubt yourself. You hear criticism, and suddenly your confidence shakes. You begin comparing yourself to others, looking at how far they have come, and you start feeling like you are too far behind. The distractions pull you away from the path, and before you know it, you slow down, you hesitate, and eventually you stop. But what if you blocked out the noise? What if you decided that your dream, your vision, your journey was more important than the opinions of others? What if, instead of listening to doubts, you listened to your heart? The truth is, people who criticize you are often the ones who have never dared to chase their own dreams. People who tell you something is impossible are usually the ones who never tried. Their words are not a reflection of your abilities, they are a reflection of their fears. Do not let someone else's fear define your future. There will be moments when you feel alone on this journey. There will be moments when you struggle, when you face failure, when nothing seems to be working. And in those moments, the noise will get louder. People will remind you of your failures. They will tell you that you should give up, that you are wasting your time. But that is the exact moment when you need to push forward. That is the moment when you need to remind yourself why you started. No one who ever achieved something great did it by following the crowd. The crowd follows what is easy, what is safe, what is ordinary. But you are not here to be ordinary. You are here to build something, to create something, to achieve something that has never been done before. And that requires unwavering focus. Every time you feel distracted, remind yourself of your goal. Every time you hear doubt, remind yourself why you started. Every time you feel like giving up, remind yourself of the person you want to become. The world will always be full of noise, but you must stay on course. Failure is something most people fear. It is something that makes people hesitate, doubt themselves, and sometimes even give up. But let me tell you this, failure is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. If you truly want to be successful, you must learn to embrace failure, not run from it. Because every failure has a lesson hidden inside it, waiting for you to uncover it. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have built something great. Do you think they never failed? No. In fact, the reason they are successful is because they failed more times than others even tried. They fell, they stumbled, they hit rock bottom, but they refused to stay there. They did not complain. They did not waste time blaming others, cursing their luck, or feeling sorry for themselves. They looked at their failure, understood it, and used it to grow. But here's the truth. Most people do not learn from failure. They complain, they find excuses, they point fingers. They say, it wasn't my fault, the market was bad. People didn't support me. I didn't have the right opportunity. And that is why they stay stuck. Because the moment you start blaming, you give away your power. You tell yourself that success is not in your hands, that it depends on things outside of your control. But the reality is, you have all the control you need. You have the power to take responsibility. You have the power to learn, adapt, and try again. Success is not about avoiding failure. It is about how you respond to it. Every time you fail, you have two choices. You can sit down and cry about it, or you can get up and ask yourself, what can I do better next time? That question alone can change your life. Some people fail once, and they decide it is the end. They say, maybe I am not good enough. But let me ask you, do you really think one failure defines your entire potential? One bad chapter does not mean the whole book is bad. One lost game does not mean you cannot win the championship. One rejection does not mean you are not worthy. If you stop at failure, you are making the biggest mistake of your life. When you fall, the pain is real. The disappointment is real, but so is the opportunity to rise again, stronger and wiser. It is in those dark moments, when everything seems impossible, that your character is tested. Will you break or will you build? Will you complain or will you correct? Every great success story has a chapter of struggle, of failure, of doubt. But what makes the story great is not the failure itself. It is what comes after, the comeback, the resilience, the relentless pursuit of something greater. That is what makes the difference. That is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. So next time you fail, do not waste a second complaining. Do not waste a breath making excuses. Take a deep breath, look at your failure, and ask yourself, what is it teaching me? Because if you listen, it will guide you to success. Change is the only constant in life. The world is evolving every second, and if you are not moving forward, you are falling behind. Many people fear change. They resist it, fight against it, and wish things would stay the same. But success does not come to those who hold on to the past. Success belongs to those who embrace change, those who see opportunity where others see obstacles. It belongs to the ones who are willing to adapt, willing to learn, and willing to step outside their comfort zone. Think about this. How many companies, once great, have disappeared because they refuse to change? How many talented people have been left behind simply because they did not learn new skills, because they did not evolve with the times? The world does not wait. Technology moves forward, businesses transform, and industries rise and fall. If you do not move with them, if you do not innovate, you will be left behind. You must become someone who sees the future before others do. You must train yourself to anticipate change, to understand the shifts happening in the world, and to position yourself ahead of them. But here's the truth. Adapting is not easy. It requires you to unlearn things you once believed were true. It demands that you step into uncertainty, to take risks when no one else believes in you, to invest in knowledge before you see results. And that is where most people fail. They hold on to what is comfortable. They do not want to struggle. They do not want to be beginners again, so they stay exactly where they are. And then one day, they realize the world has moved forward without them. Think about it. What if you had started learning a new skill last year? What if you had embraced a new opportunity instead of doubting yourself? What if you had taken that risk instead of waiting for the perfect moment? Imagine where you would be today. The most successful people in the world are not the strongest nor the smartest. They are the ones who adapt the fastest. They are the ones who look at a problem and see a possibility. They do not ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, they ask, how can I turn this into an opportunity? There will be times when you feel lost, when the path ahead is unclear. In those moments, most people stop. But you cannot. You must train yourself to keep moving, to keep learning, to keep searching for the next breakthrough. Because just beyond that confusion, just beyond that fear, is where real success begins. So, do not fear change. Do not resist it. Welcome it. Use it. Let it be the force that pushes you forward. Because those who adapt, those who innovate, those who are not afraid to start over again and again, those are the ones who will shape the future. Helping others is not just an act of kindness. It is the foundation of true success. Many people chase wealth, fame, and power, thinking that these things will define their greatness. But real success, the kind that lasts beyond your lifetime, comes from the value you create for others. It is not about how much you take, it is about how much you give. Think about the people we admire the most, the ones whose names are remembered long after they are gone. They were not just rich or powerful, they were people who made a difference. They changed lives, they built something bigger than themselves, they left a legacy. When you focus only on yourself, your success is limited. You may earn money, you may achieve personal goals, but your impact remains small. The moment you start thinking about how you can help others, how your knowledge, your skills, your resources can uplift those around you, that is when you step into a different kind of success. The kind that brings meaning, the kind that makes you wake up every day with purpose. I have met people who started with nothing. No money, no education, no advantages. But they had one thing, a heart willing to help. And because of that, success found them. Not because they were the smartest, not because they were the strongest, but because they understood that helping others is the fastest way to grow. There will be times when you feel like giving up, times when you question why you are working so hard, that is when you need to look beyond yourself. Because when you build something that helps others, you don't just work for yourself anymore. You work for a purpose bigger than you. And that purpose will push you forward, even when everything else tells you to stop. The world is full of problems. Some people complain about them. Some people ignore them. But a few, just a few, stand up and decide to solve them. Be one of those few. Be the person who creates opportunities, who lifts others up, who makes things better. That is how you build a legacy. It doesn't matter if you are rich or poor, educated or not. You have something to give. Maybe it's your knowledge, maybe it's your time, maybe it's just your belief in someone who has stopped believing in themselves. That small act could change their life forever. And one day they will look back and say, because of you, I didn't give up. Imagine that. Imagine being the reason someone keeps going. Imagine being the reason someone succeeds. That is the kind of success no amount of money can buy. So, as you walk your path, don't just think about where you are going. Think about who you are bringing with you. Because the more people you help, the greater your impact. And long after you are gone, that impact will remain. Your name will not just be written in history. It will be written in the hearts of those you helped. And that is what true success looks like.